Welcome to the City Current Radio Show. I'm your host, Jeremy Park. We're always honored to bring you inspiring stories of individuals and organizations making a difference, empowering the good in our community. And we're kicking it off talking about education with Shelby County Schools. We're joined by Dr. Angela Whitelaw, Deputy Superintendent of Schools and Academic Support, and Dr. John Barker, Deputy Superintendent for Strategic Operations and Finance. How are you two doing?
Oh, Jeremy, great today. I am Angela Whitelaw and so excited to be here with my super colleague. I call him JB, but definitely here with John Barker. And we're trying to really get back in school and make it a fun year for our students. John.
Angela, it is always great to be with you, and Jeremy, great to be with you as well. Just thanks to everybody who's listening in on the program this morning, or this afternoon, whenever you're listening, right? You can listen in pretty much any time. But
it's all on demand.
That's right, exactly. Well, it's morning time for us right now, and it's a Friday morning. We're really, really excited to have this opportunity to be with you, Jeremy.
So let's start out. Hopefully everyone knows, obviously, Shelby County Schools, so we don't have to go through a long backstory there. But for each one of you, let's have some fun. Give me something that you wish everyone knew. So open platform about Shelby County Schools. So Angela, let's start with you. What's something you wish everyone knew?
I wish that everyone knew that truly we are a place that we serve students, and we want to make sure that students come back to us and our parents continue to believe in us. But what's so special about us? What's so special? But we're a family, Jeremy, that we act like a family. We walk together as a family and we serve as a family. So to me, being a family makes it exciting for all of us throughout the city.
John, what do you want everyone to know?
Well, Jeremy, first thing I want everybody to know is that Angela Whitelaw is absolutely awesome. I always call her Awesome Angela, and she is so fun to work with. And what we love to do, there's the two deputy superintendents. She's got academics, I got everything operations, and we tend to come as a matched pair because one of the things that we like to do is make sure that we're collaborating on behalf of students and families. So it'd be awesome if everybody knew that we have Gates Millennium Scholars in the district. We have incredible National Merit Scholars in the district.
Yes.
We have programs across the district. We have award-winning sports teams in the district. We have students who are coming to school today who have incredible potential, and our teachers, our awesome teachers, our awesome principals are there to meet those students and meet those students' needs. So the challenge, I think, is always trying to get the word out because, what's sensationalized, we have breaking news in this town and everywhere, right? Somebody wants to break a story. Well, what we know is that in every situation, what you have to do is have to work hard. I think the old saying goes, it's like a lie can make it around the earth before the truth puts on its pants or something, or boots or whatever like that. But it is so interesting that we have so many truths that are out there that we want people to know that Memphis and Shelby County Schools is a great place for your kids to go. My child goes to Central High School. If I can brag on her for just a quick second, she's a senior, and she is hopefully headed on to graduation in May of 2022. And we have had a great education with Sophie Parker.
Give me an idea of scope. So you don't have to obviously get the exact numbers, but number of schools, number of teachers, administrators, number of students. Give me some stats overall.
So definitely we have a little bit over 200 schools. We definitely have a little bit over or close when we include our portfolio, and John can help me, of charter schools and contract schools and traditional schools. We still have a scope of about 100,000 students when we think about our entire portfolio. When we think about all of our teachers, we have about 6,000 teachers, but also we have support staff. So again, we have a big organization and we serve students in this organization. John, do you want to add anything?
Yeah, the only thing I would add is, that there's so much, you think about the old Kevin Bacon game of how many degrees of separation. So if you think there's about 100,000 plus students and 6,000 or so teachers and about 15,000 total employees, that when you think that there's one person or two people or whatever, what you're really looking at is about 500,000 people in the Shelby County area, metro area, who are directly or like one click away from being involved with the school. So it's a big, big organization, and Angela and I and all our 15,000 colleagues are really, really glad to serve the incredible mission that is our organization.
So let's dive in and talk about Reimagine 901. And so for those who aren't kind of up to speed, one, describe Reimagine 901, just what it is for context, and then we'll dive into some of the nuances.
When we're talking about reimagining 901, there are three things that I want people to remember. We're reimagining schools. We're reimagining education. We're reimagining communities. So when we're talking about Reimagine 901, I really want people to realize that we believe that the school is the landmark. The school is the key in changing the city and in changing the community. Also, when we think about Reimagining 901, it is truly a vision for our superintendent that we are ensuring that all of our students have access to quality programs, quality education, quality curriculum. Also, he's very adamant about serving the community. So we will continue to have service learning projects. And then if nothing else, I want to put a plug in about Reimagining 901, that we are talking about what will it look like if we have language immersion programs, if we continue to develop our students in speaking a second language. What will it look like with more arts in the classroom? What will it look like to have a medical district high that we just opened up a few weeks ago? And what will it look like to have a state-of-the-art agri-STEM high school? So those are just a few of the things that we have inside of Reimagining 901, but it's really thinking about how do we reimagine what we want to see for students to ensure that it doesn't matter what zip code you live in, that instruction will be happening at the highest level. JB?
Yeah, and one of the great things about Angela going first, I said what she said. The one thing I'll add on, though, is that reimagining schools and communities and the whole of education in Shelby County, Memphis Shelby County Schools is really, and this is a vision that Dr. Ray has had, and it's just such a pleasure to work for and with and around Dr. Doris Ray, our superintendent, who's just got incredible vision and is an absolute product of this community. Was a student here, was a teacher here, was an administrator here, now a superintendent of the district where he grew up in. So it's really, really fun to see that and be a part of that. And what he said too was, what we need to do is we need to reimagine what our district looks like. So we've got thousands and thousands and millions of dollars actually in projects that we're going to see across the city and county in terms of building projects. So we've got some new schools that have been envisioned. Talking on a project this morning, Jeremy, just about a new stadium that we're thinking about. But all of these pieces, it's the notion of reimagining and what that means. At the time we developed the notion of Reimagining 901, what we said was there was the need to think about what that vision is, where we are, where we're going to be. It really replaces the idea of the destination 2025. That destination 2025 really had its time, and the board came and said, well, of those 5 goals, what we're going to do, we're going to move it to 3 major initiatives. And those major initiatives really focus around literacy, around growing your own teachers, and really creating world-class scholars with our students. So in terms of where we are right now, it is an amazing time to be in Memphis Shelby County Schools as we are reimagining and looking forward to what the future looks like.
Well, I like the fact that Angela pointed out some very specific illustrations of, new schools and opportunities for the students and what that means, especially when you look at the future when it comes to medicine, bioag, all of these technologies and opportunities that the students are going to be on the forefront of learning, but also job opportunities for them and their families.
Absolutely.
Give me maybe 1 or 2 more that put a smile on your face when you look at some of these new developments, the creativity, the innovation, but ultimately what it means for students in our community.
Jeremy, I think what is definitely putting a smile on my face is the work that we're doing with CCTE and the work that we're teaming with Chamber of Commerce. So let me brag about CCTE just for a minute. Our CCTE program is really growing. A couple of years ago, we only had about 250 students graduating with a certification, but now we have over 2,000 students who graduate with some type of certification, so they are ready for the job market. So just bragging about our career and college technology program here in the city, that's what is keeping me smiling about the work and the work that they're doing all across the city. Our signature partners, such as Federal Express, who's working hand in hand. And before the pandemic, we were able to have a FedEx Institute. So we had about 50 students to really spend a week, the fall break with FedEx, in looking at logistics, looking at how can they be part of this growing economy. So those are the things that make me smile. And so looking for those signature partners in the city that will come side by side with us to ensure that students are really being involved in the workplace, that's what's going to keep me smiling. And again, our strong partnership that we've been able to develop with the Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah. John, what would you add?
Yeah, another reason to keep smiling is that we have $776 million of federal support that we are, in fact, there's a ESSER application that's due today. And what's fun is that, we have the chance to do some of the things that we've never had before. So there's going to be, additional adults, high quality assistants that are going to be in the K-2 classrooms. We're going to have an opportunity to focus on our third grade reading initiative, literacy up and down the curriculum, the chance to do, again, some more investment in our indoor air quality and really focus on the HVAC units and the roofs, the air conditioning essentially units, and the roof replacements to help our kids have the very best air quality, and our teachers as well.
So talk about some of the restructuring. I know that there has been some restructuring. Mm-hmm. So give us an idea of just what that looks like, but ultimately what that means.
So Jeremy, so glad that you're giving me an opportunity to talk about it. We did do some major restructuring in the academic division, and it started with me. And Dr. Ray on last year decided, took some time, took a step back because he did a lot of work on the operations side with John. And then we had to really think about how do you restructure an academic department, because we want to be better than a level one. And so definitely you have to start with the person who's leading that department. So that definitely, while it was hard, it was needed, and I respect him for it. And definitely he's moved to a different level about what's good for children. So I had to go through an interview process, talking to thought partners across the nation about the work that I wanted to see happen in the district. So that was the first stage. And then after that, and after I was given an opportunity to definitely continue to do this work, we made some major changes in our academic division. We moved our previous CAO, Dr. Antonio Burt. We needed him over in the chief of schools to lead all of our schools. And so definitely we're getting almost a 2-for-1 for him, because he served as academic officer. Now he's serving as chief of schools, where we needed his support, his expertise in this area. Then we hired a new CAO, Chief Jaron Carson. He's been part of our district. He was a former IOD, also a former principal in one of our iZone schools. And then basically we put some departments together to create this strong academic division. Chief of schools, chief academic officer, chief of academic operations and support, chief of family engagement, and our accountability office. So we all live together. So what we believe, that we're all interconnected, and we can't move without the other person, the other department, and ensuring that we move and our work is aligned and we're working for the betterment of students.
Yeah. John, what would you add to that?
Yeah, what's really exciting to see, and we actually saw some fruit of it this past weekend with our board retreat, that there's an alignment, I think, Jeremy, that I've seen, Angela, that, I'm really, really excited about. What we know is that if you get the right people in the right seats on the right bus for the right reason, what you can do is a lot of really great work on behalf of kids and families. And for our side, as Angela pointed out, Dr. Ray, when I first came in as deputy, had the opportunity to work with the Fab Five. And so up under our area, we have kind of pulled together and grown as a team in the area of security, information technology, finance, human resources, and business operations.
Wrap up, let's talk about obviously safety, and with safety, student safety, the COVID-19, the protocols, the things that you're putting in place to keep the students safe. So talk about just safety overall and everything that's going on in your world, keeping the students safe.
Jeremy, so I won't talk long on this subject because John is the mastermind. His departments have been awesome in this area. But I will say inside of a school, what you will see our students wearing masks as well as the adults and anyone that enters into that school, because we got to keep students safe and we believe in it. I think about, this is where academics and operations, we team together, and every Wednesday we're on a call, and John's team has just been really awesome about making sure that we have the PPE, making sure that we have the cleaning, the cleaning supplies are there, making sure that we are safe. And then also John is the author of really implementing this grant that we have received from the state. So I'm going to stop talking now because he's done some superb work in this area. So John.
So one of the things, and thank you so much for that, Angela, I think it's a collective effort, Jeremy, to be sure. And what we know is that the state, through some federal relief dollars, was able to provide money for the swab testing, and so, if we thought about, this time 2 years ago, that you'd have a nasal swab and you'd find out about something, and that would be something that you do on a regular basis, that we have, my wife Kathy works down at St. Jude, and St. Jude has been a international leader on that regular testing. So I was seeing that on a weekly basis, where they were weekly testing all of their employees. So it wasn't just kind of a completely new idea when the state said, okay, you got some money to do some testing. We partnered with Poplar Healthcare, and Poplar has been doing a lot of the work for the city and have been just a superb partner, to use Angela's words about superb, that they've been a great partner for us. And I mean, for so many people in the community, to be sure, you go get your test at Poplar Healthcare. But what we've got is on a rotational basis, once every 2 weeks, we got a mobile unit that's going to schools. Right now, what we're asking is for parents to give their consent, if they want to, voluntarily, for students to take a nasal swab. And what happens is, once every couple of weeks, the mobile team comes and takes a swab, and you get the results back within 24 to 48 hours. What we do is we follow up not only on that, but also those self-reports that are coming into schools. And what we've got to say is that the COVID protocol and the contact tracing that we've used has been, a real challenge, just because it's been so overwhelmed because of the case numbers that we're seeing right now, right? You get all the hospitals that are in, I guess yesterday's number at 700, the largest number that we've had throughout the course of the pandemic. So, what we know is that we mirror in many ways what's going on in the community. What I'm excited to say, though, is, that of our testing so far, we haven't had just a lot of cases that we've been finding from that asymptomatic swab testing. What we've got, though, is a system in place to be able to do that. The other part of that is, too, that we'll have nurses out in schools as paid for by that grant as well. So, we do a lot of cleaning and focus on the cleanliness and the mitigation efforts, but we encourage everybody to get vaccinated. We encourage everybody to mask up. What we're, still in process, and we appreciate the work of Shelby County on the behalf of the students and the families in Shelby County in making an official challenge yesterday, known with the respect to the governor's opt-out mask policy, the executive order. But what we know is, Jeremy, that we have our recent results, about 88% of our teachers are vaccinated, and that's a great thing. And we encourage more people to get vaccinated, because one of the things that we know is in mitigating the efforts to really kind of stop this from its wild spread, is putting all those pieces together. I saw a wonderful piece the other day from physician who said, you got several things. You got masks, you got distance, you got barriers, you got hand washing, you got vaccinations, you got all those things. And what you want to do is be able to use as many of those as possible. And that's what we're trying to do from our operations side. And we really appreciate everybody's participation and cooperation with that, because it's going to take all of us to stop this thing.
Well, this is one of those where we'll have to have you come back because there's so much ground to cover. But let's go ahead and wrap up with contact information. Where does everyone go to learn more about Shelby County Schools and all the good that's happening?
www.scs12.org. But definitely, I want to give my email out. Please, if people need to contact us about a school, about a leader, about a great idea, definitely you can email me at whitelawam@scs12.org. Because again, we're looking and we want to hear from people, and we want to hear the positive things as well as some barriers to keep us going in this work.
Well, and Jeremy, thanks so much. We appreciate the opportunity to be on, and we appreciate the opportunity to share this with the community. If you need me, contact Dr. Whitelaw. That's the best thing to do. Go straight to her. No, what we do is I'm at Barker Jr., BARKER at SCSK12.org. But if you want to hit me with a text, hit me at 901-254-3464. That's 901-254-3464. You can hit me by email too.
Well, Angela, John, thank you for all you and your amazing team do. Thank you for coming on the show. Greatly appreciate it.
Thanks so much, Jeremy. We appreciate being with you.